Well, it seems like
You are not doing anything there at home. You want to use the starving man. Some joker there in India wants to exploit a cow, and somebody else wants to save a street dog or some whale somewhere else, collect money, and you become the president. And you fly around the globe to collect money. That's all that you are doing. Accept that, be honest.
What makes you warm?
Warm.
Happy.
I don't quite understand the word warm. If the weather is warm outside, I feel warm. The warmth you are talking about is altogether different, I think. There's a warm feeling. See? I don't know what you mean by warmth. What exactly?
What makes you
The
happy?
body has a temperature, and it is said that every human body radiates 3,000 degrees centigrade heat. If we have the problem with our weather pattern, it's not necessarily due to the defrosting of the forest. What do they call is that the word? I don't know. What do they call it? You see? But because we have 5 billion people on this planet, we are heating up the whole system. And so we are contributing in our own way a larger share the warming up of this planet, apart from what the scientists are telling us. So they don't want to take this into consideration. This is the most important and the major factor. I don't know, I can't for sure say how I got this piece of information, but somebody else has told me, a fellow who knows what he's talking about, so I'm using that. I don't know exactly what you mean by warm. Nobody ever called me a very warm person.
Could you give me an example of actions of people, friends, that make you feel like warm, maybe the same kind of warmth that the sun can give you?
You'll be surprised that I don't have any relationship with anybody around me. And I do call somebody is my friend. It really does not mean anything to me. When I use the word friend, the only meaning it has for me is what the dictionary says. Apart from that, I cannot have any relationship. All relationships are based on the fundamental demand. What do I get out of this relationship? Otherwise, they fund any relationship at all. And so when I say that he is my friend, sometimes you see I add the rider, I don't mean it. Because I have to say that he is my friend. And sometimes I say that I cannot lose a friend I don't have. That does not mean that everybody is unfriendly. When I say that I don't love anybody, it does not mean that I hate anybody. When I say that I hate nobody, it does not mean that I love everybody. It has nothing to do with that dual process, if I may use that high-sounding word, between love and hate. You see, since I do not love anybody, I cannot hate anybody. I will put it that way. So I don't have any claims that I do not hate anybody. So this warm feelings one has are very artificial. You see. So there is no way you can measure the warmth, just the way you can measure the warmth out there and give the reading in centigrade or Fahrenheit or the room or what we call them. As the students of physics, we were made to memorize the differences between the measurements of heat.
But what does it mean for you to fall in love? Do you fall in love? And what does it mean?
It's too late, you see. I'm a 76-year-old man, and I'm afraid there is no way I can fall in love with anybody. What is after all love? You see, why do we have to use that word? It's a sexual attraction. We are not ready to put it on that crude basis, you see. Like the animals do. You see, they don't talk of love. Why not we put it only on that level? Because we are made to believe that we are something different, that we are humane, that falling in love in the case of humans is quite different from a dog making a bitch. You see, I'm sorry I have to use very crude words. I'm not a refined, highly cultured, educated man. So unless you focus these things, you don't really understand what the problem is. I'm not interested in hurting your feelings or anybody. Nobody can do anything to me. I'm 76 years old. If they don't like it, that's fine. I am not here to promote myself.
But
I have no cause to promote, you see.
But what is for you the difference between man and animal?
I don't see any difference. Yesterday...
But what is the difference? What
we are
makes man...
We are made to believe that we are quite different from the animals. Animals don't have this problem at all. As I was saying, the barking of a dog and the barking of this man here sitting before this mind is absolutely no different. You may not like it because we are taught how to translate this sound. Or you have to make yourself feel superior because you are able to use a language. But if this listening mechanism does not listen to anything as a language, does not listen to anything as music. So whether it is, to go back to my simile of that tea kettle making noises, or Beethoven's Ninth Symphony or Fifth Symphony, or somebody singing some songs, beautiful songs, they are all noises, but we have cultivated a taste. You see, this is all cultural input in this. So you are able to develop a sort of a taste for enjoying a music. When I first came to the Western countries, I was taken to an opera or something in music. I walked out within 5 minutes. They asked me why you are doing it, because I cannot appreciate that music. I was brought up in a country where the music is quite different from the music here in the Western countries. Now I can say what's the difference between the music there in the Oriental countries and the Occidental countries. It's very simple. Here the whole emphasis is on harmony. That is why we originated the thing called orchestra. See, this is something totally alien to those countries because they emphasized only on melody. Each one tried to create his own kind of a music in his own way, which is distinguished from the way you see he rendered those songs in a very melodious way, different from others. So now they are copying, you see, the idea of a harmony in music. So these are all our cultivated tastes. Okay? So the barking of a dog has more charm in that. It is something living there. It's a living song. And we are not able to enjoy that and say that, shut up, you see. But here we have a cultivated taste of appreciating music. So I would walk out in India even today. I cannot appreciate classical music because it requires a certain kind of a taste which is developed through exposing yourself to that kind of a music. I see no difference between the barking of a dog and somebody singing some beautiful song. Basically, it's not that I do not know the difference. I have been exposed. Now I can stand the classical music in the Western countries because I have spent more than half my life in the Western countries. I'm exposed to that kind of a thing. It's strange as it may seem to you, but sometimes I'm asked to go on radio programs devoted to only classical music, metal rock, pop music, all kinds of things. I don't know why they are interested in what I have to say. Because I don't think I can even appreciate music. But I listen, you see, to the birds singing. How is that? There is something living there. You see, it's not a cultivated thing. It's not born out of our thought. All our music is born out of our thought. It's a cultivated taste that we have developed. We are exposed to that kind of a thing. That's the only difference. Otherwise, you don't call this a music. I saw so many posters there with the exposure of women, the breast. And well, what's the difference between, I'm sorry to say that this is a crude way of putting it, whether you are looking at the tits of a woman or a beautiful sunrise or sunset. That's aesthetics. This is equally the same thing. But what's the difference? It's not that I will look at this and not that, or look at that and condemn this kind of a thing. It's there. You are looking at it, you see. No, that is also a sensual activity. Listening to music Even the singing in the church or in the temples or in the mosque, exactly the same. But you feel superior because it's something different. That music is something different. You think it is elevating. Elevating you what? It's the highest essential activity that is there in your body that's going on. So you want to sit on a higher level and feel just good. You do good to somebody. As I said yesterday, it's a do-gooder style. You help somebody, but that's the most self-centered activity that you can ever imagine. But you feel good because you are a Boy Scout, and you feel good because you are helping some old lady. The old lady should stay at home and not go out, not expose herself, you see, to all the dangers. So you do something, you give a helping hand, and you feel good. So you call that something extraordinary? I don't think it. You may say that I am cynical. I am not cynical. A cynic is one whose feet are very firmly fixed on this ground. He is not fooled by anything. If supposing you find yourself in a situation where you have to give a helping hand, so that's why I don't believe in any human being helping me. I'm looking forward to the day when we will have robots. Then I don't have to feel this is so bad because I'm not giving an opportunity for some other human being to help me out when I am disabled. So now you see the robots are doing tremendous work there. They help you. You see, they are performing surgery much better than you see the surgeons, the top surgeons in the world. 90% is successful. So we are all machines. We are not ready to accept that simple basic fact that we are all machines, that we are made to believe that we are far superior to every other form of life on this planet, and we are also brainwashed to believe that the whole thing is created for our benefit. It's not created for the benefit of mankind alone. We have grabbed everything that belongs to everybody, protect it, and feel good because we have been able to grab everything for ourselves, and it actually belongs to everything. So the human body is not separate from the life around. It belongs to the whole thing. You are not separate from that. You have separated yourself. You have isolated yourself from the life around. And give big discourses on the meaning of life, the mystery of life, and the unity of life, and all that. I don't think your viewers will be interested in what I have said, but I say, and it is said, as it all. Thank you.